Hey, Betterness Bays! Welcome to the Good, Better, Betterness podcast. Heads up, this episode takes us back a few months and was recorded on a previous edition of Wellness Wednesday.
What we explored and uncovered then is still true now, and we hope that this lands as a reminder that you matter first and always, full stop. Thank you for making space for us, and more importantly, for yourself.
Morning. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. We got Bear in the bedroom with us, in your bedroom, I should say.
And then bar. Yes, bar in your bedroom. Yeah.
Bar. Oh,
Yes.
that's what he said?
So I get that all the time. All the time.
Oh, my God. So I'm going to get a whole education right now. Oh, on the 5-5. I'm here for that. I'm not there yet. But yes, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm super excited. I put on my ankle wristlet, that was in the box so that I can, I talk and I use my hands. And so I'm going to get a little bit of workout.
Okay.
Listen, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to our audience to start off with, and then we'll get into some of these topics and talk about this amazing May that we have coming up.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Yes, first, thanks for having me, letting me join in on your chat. I'm really excited for it. I came prepared with the good stuff. I figure wellness and wine, that's perfect for me. So I guess I could start with that. My name is Janna Harris. My Instagram handle is bar in your bedroom, and I also have the Balanced Wellness Retreat. But I work 9 to 5 in the wellness industry, and then 5 to 9, everything that I do not actually all the way around. But I really try to focus on balance and just really making it a part of your lifestyle. I know we have so much going on, so that's what I'm here for, to just really make it attainable, make it achievable.
Yes. Okay, so you have to tell us a little bit about the retreat.
Yeah.
And just, tidbit on some of the history between BetternessBox and your retreat, because I'm so excited that we're longtime partners at this point, okay?
Absolutely.
Yes. So I know the first collaboration was the boxes, right? That you had at your retreat. And what's all that about? What are your retreats about?
So the retreats are about truly finding that balance. It's an opportunity to step away from the daily distractions of life, because that's truly mostly what keeps us anchored to those bad habits, those things that we're not aware of. It's just that we're going through life kind of blind. So an opportunity to really step away from that. And I say to disconnect in order to reconnect. And that can be with those around you, because it's a small, intimate group, or just reconnect with yourself, because sometimes we just need the time and space to do that. But it's around all 8 dimensions. If you've been to a retreat, I talk about it as far as like a pie, and that if you're anything like me and love sweets, I want the whole pie. I'm greedy about my pie. So all of it. That's my 5. Okay? So that's really what it's about, building in all of those. And so the collaboration from the beginning was perfect because of your mission, because your box in and of itself, whether it was a very themed box for a certain time of year or a particular dimension of wellness, it still had so much application and just was very much a seamless fit. So that was the first one. And then this last retreat, we had your affirmation cards, and that was just, I felt, a really great way to start each day, to have that anchor. And again, like I said, make it accessible. So if you're not familiar with that, you kind of need something to start with. And those cards were like a perfect catalyst for that.
Yay! Well, we love you. We love everything you're doing. And so it's just like, how can we be help? And we're so glad that, those things made sense for us to collaborate on. Because wellness is important. Movement is important, right?
Yes.
And so with our last box, our Let Us Be box, we talked about the narrative of Black women and changing that. But I want to get into what we're going to be doing for May, because for May, we're still in the Let Us Be season. And a lot of people were like, okay, we're changing the narrative. But then you sent me these ankle and wrist weights. And then you sent me this, whole situation. Fanny pack, okay, I'm kind of getting it. But what we're doing in May is all about movement. So movement in May vibes is what we are calling it. And so I want to get into really just the importance of movement, and I'll tell y'all about a little bit more about May vibes soon. But let's get into like why movement even matters. Like I have my Apple Watch, and I said on here before that, you know, depending on how long I've been sitting, my Apple Watch will be down. Hello,
Nudge.
Stand, time to stand. And so I think about that when I see it, and sometimes I ignore it. It's true, but you know, I think we should talk about why it is important. So why is movement important? How can we kind of incorporate that into our lives?
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. It is absolutely, those nudges are great and they're very effective. They are there to be that reminder, but we have free will and it's natural to prioritize. And that does happen, right? The nudge is not always at the right time. But I think that you are also right in understanding the true purpose or the intention of our movements. And that kind of helps us kind of stay true to that and to really follow through on those nudges when they come through. And for me, I think the simplest way to really apply movement is that it's all about quality of life. So I know that we are all here for Hot Girl Summer, and that's a really good reason. Hey, Hot Girl. Okay. Not early over here. Yes, Hot Girl Year. Okay, and I know that is super important, and all of the different trends, all of those different things are very important, but truly movement is about quality of life. Like, God willing, you have 80 plus years on this earth and you want those to be optimized. You want the most out of those years, and that is quality of life. That is wellness. It supersedes any trend. It outlives any trend. That's why it's important. And I actually read a quote recently that said, if you don't make time for wellness, you will surely make time for your illness. And I think that's pretty much the trade-off. Right? You get one or the other, and you are truly responsible for that. So I think that fundamentally is the reason that movement matters, is that it has an impact on your quality of life across the board. That's why we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you said that it outlives every other like aspect. That's, you don't think about it that way. It's like a component of like, no, this movement is really important. And you know, I love that. And I love that quote as well, because I think a lot of people are like, you know, I'm young, or I'll be able to recover later on in life. I'll sacrifice my movement now, or I'll sacrifice this because I'm hustling, I'm grinding, right? And they look up and they're like, oh, wait, what happened to this? Your body's like, oh, no, you thought this was something you could put off? Like, I am important. Like your body's trying to tell you it's important.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that ideal of thinking of it that way. Like, put it off now, but just know you're literally making time for illness later.
Absolutely. And it's more than even just your body kind of giving you that nudge of, you know, we need to move. It's all of those dimensions. Again, we understand that movement have an impact on mental, emotional well-being, right? That has nothing to do with your physical body moving. We know that physical activity and exercise has an impact on our nutritional wellness and how we fuel our body. So absolutely, it's so across the board. It runs this whole spectrum. And again, I think that goes back to really kind of quantifying why it's important, because it has a touch on every area of your well-being.
Yep. I love that. Every area. Wow. Again, I thought it was like just one piece, but it's tied in. No, tied into all of the things. Okay, awesome. I know that right now a lot of people are starting to like get outside a little bit more and really think about, okay, well, you know, outside is opening up depending on where you live. And I'm wondering, and I do remember looking at a statistic, but I think you're going to kind of touch on this 30 minutes thing, right? Right. Why is that a thing? Why do people say 30 minutes a day? Why is it recommended? And, you know, how can we, again, make sure to incorporate that into our lives? Because when I think of 30 minutes, I'm like, that's not even one episode of Married at First Sight. Like, listen, I can do that.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. And it takes that kind of perspective where, because it's a priority, you will then find the ways to make that fit or make it relative to you. So that absolutely is the right way to think about it. But going back to your question, where does that 30 minutes even come from? So the American Heart Association sets the recommendation, and it hasn't changed in the last few years, but it's 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity. So essentially 150 minutes a week sounds like a lot, but you could break that down to about 30 minutes a day for 5 weeks a week. Sounds way more attainable that way, right?
Yes.
Well, we can take it a step further because the literature is clear on the fact that you can take that 30-minute session and break it down into as small as 10-minute increments, and you still get the benefits that you would have from that 30-minute session. So it's a cumulative effect. And I think the beauty of that is you don't lose anything. You just gain that flexibility. It removes a lot of the barriers and the rigidity around, I have to find 30 minutes to do this. And because we can talk ourselves out of that, but knowing that you can do 3 10-minute bouts or sessions of exercise throughout the day and still get those cardiorespiratory benefits, the musculoskeletal benefits, the mental, emotional, again, touching all of those areas, and makes it that much easier. So things like standing instead of sitting or taking a walk, super simple things that you can do to squeeze in 10 minutes, or, one of my like quick 10-minute workouts, whatever you want to do, a solo dance party, put on a short playlist, make a playlist for 10 minutes. And that's really only like 3-4 songs that you really love. And then just dance that. There are so many ways that you can build that in. Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah, we do have, for those of you looking for a playlist to, twerk or whatever it is.
Yes.
Get you moving. We have a whole slew of playlists, and every single season we actually have a playlist. So there's a Let Us Be playlist, and we sometimes even have multiple playlists within the season. So go on Spotify and put in #BetterVibes, and you will find us, or just search BetternessBox, and we're on there too. And that's good, because some of our playlists are a little bit more chill. So we got some bangers in there.
And that's
We have. I think the first playlist is the fourth one is one of the ones, Volume 4. Just write that down. You need to BetternessBox Volume 4 on Spotify. Find that, get that done. But yeah, you just blew my mind on the 10-minute increment, because I think I'd heard that maybe a couple years ago, where people were like, just do 10 minutes here or there. And I don't know that I actually understood what that meant. So are there like, it's not just 10 minutes of standing per se, right? It's like actual activity. So what would those 10 minutes need to look like?
That is such a great point. And to differentiate that, you're absolutely right. So there is a difference between physical activity and exercise. So, and you have a great idea with having your wrist weights on, because physical activity is any movement that requires energy output. So anything that we do, any human movement is physical activity. So like you said, you talk with your hand, I do too. That all counts. That's physical activity. So that can be things like the standing or gardening, those sort of things, versus exercise is intentional, it's structured, it's planned, and it's very much with the purpose of improving or maintaining fitness, right? So all of those words are kind of different: physical activity, exercise, building fitness, that sort of thing. But the recommendation is, you're right, around a intensity level. So let's say gardening, if you're doing it in the hot heat of Texas and you were doing it for hours, that could be very strenuous work, necessarily, just depending. So it's more about that intensity is what you want to focus on. And then also that duration, so that 10-minute bout. So that can be a HIIT workout. That can be something that gets your heart rate up. But again, it could be a walk, because that will count as your physical activity, your movement, truly. So it's kind of where you are on that spectrum.
Gotcha. So physical activity versus exercise. Is that where there was okay. So, taking my notes. Want to make sure I got it down right. So HIIT workouts, I would think like maybe jump roping.
Absolutely.
We've had a jump rope in our box before, for sure. I'm thinking of like all the different things we had. We did include an exercise ball that you can like squeeze between your legs and do squats.
Absolutely.
And do all kinds of like yoga, Pilates type of work with it. And so I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, 10 minutes. Because I think for me, a lot of people are like, okay, I found a workout that works and they'll do it, right? Yes. But then they get tired of it. But I think that 10-minute increment actually gives you some flexibility.
We're on the same page. I feel that way. Like, you should never get bored. Yeah. And boredom is one thing, but then when you start to think about exercise and fitness, really, you don't even worry about boredom. You worry about plateau. That's the problem. You don't want to plateau with your fitness. You want to keep progressing that. And I think you should never hit that either, because like you just said, within a day, you could do 3 different workouts. Like, how fulfilling is that you could target different things? You can get a great HIIT session in, a dance cardio session. There's so many things online. You could start your day with a yoga stretch session, whatever that is, a mindful walking session or walking meditation. There's so many different ways to incorporate that. I mean, there's people chasing their kids around. Make that a game. You got stairs in your house, up and down, up and down. You know, do what you have to do to like build that into your lifestyle. And I think that's what makes it easier for us to adhere to it, especially over the long term, is if it fits our lifestyle. If we have to deviate from what feels good at our core, we're just not going to do it. And that's probably for the best, right? If it doesn't feel good, like maybe not do it. Yeah, right. So, yeah.
So you can buy all of those products and spend hundreds of dollars and lots of time, or you can get a box for $25 today for your first box, and it's worth over $100 delivered to your doorstep and then automated from then on every 3 months. Make sure you subscribe today at BetternessBox.com. It's worth it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I love that, like, dance card, because I'm like, oh yeah, 10 minutes dancing, 10 minutes like really doing some actual intentional exercise. I think for me, and I use these Wellness Wednesdays really as consultations for myself, whether it's therapy or whether it's with amazing people like you. So yeah, now I'm applying this to my life. But yes, girl, I have water because I'm using right now, but
I'll have it for you. Don't worry. I need the water, actually.
Right. No, don't worry. Oh, the wine will be loading this weekend. But the app can, it has its rings and it's telling you this is the Apple Watch for any of you know.
Yes.
But I think most apps, or Apple Watches or wearable tech has like the rings or the goal or whatever. Right. I feel like sometimes, like, I'll just be out walking or shopping, and I feel like, oh, my rings are going to be closed because I was walking. Yeah. I don't think there's like a fine line between that being intentional. And I think that intentional part is like actually adding just an extra layer. Like you said, you got to chase your kids around anyway. Let's make sure, okay, set a timer, 10 minutes, I'll be chasing my kids around. And I got to chase them until I get them.
Yeah, exactly. Keep running, guys.
Right. Okay, we're playing a game. Keep running.
Yes.
I love that.
Yep. Exactly. It's the
intentionality.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I love that. I'm really excited about the dance carding. I cannot wait to find some.
Volume 4. I'm getting that.
Right. So making time for movement, one of the biggest things that we find difficult for, and thanks for tuning in. If you're just now tuning in, we're talking to this amazing woman. Is Janna or Janna? Janna. Okay. Yeah. About the amazing movement in May that we're doing, all the things that she's doing. But we're in our season for movement and really being present and changing the narrative around what it means to do these things, right?
Yeah.
My mama would have never said dance is a cardio or an intentional workout. So we're changing it up a little bit. But I wanted to kind of reset the room. So let us know where you're tuning in from when you are tuning in. But I want to talk about like the lack of time. That's the big thing that we get from like our mothers that, have children and are really just trying to find it. We're like, girl, what? In 30 minutes, right? 75, what's the American Heart Association says, like, where am I like find that? So how do we make time? I love the 10-minute bout thing, but how can we think a little bit more intentionally around that? Is it the time of the day? Different things that kind of make the most sense to keep us on track. And, once we get off track, it's hard.
It is. It is, absolutely. And I think it goes back to building it into your current lifestyle. So, of course, the intention is to improve that. If you are being active all the time, or if you're exercising, then obviously you're seeking to improve something. But sticking with what you're already doing, so building it into a routine that you already have. If you already have a morning routine and you can tolerate working out in the morning, especially a 10-minute bout, that's going to, let's say, a HIIT workout, you're just going to get going right away, a Tabata or something like that, then absolutely do that first thing in the morning. If, let's say, and I am really big on this because I'm big on boundaries and protecting time. Let's say that you are working a full-time job and you have your lunch break. That is your lunch break. So even if you disregard everything I say about movement and you just simply take that break, we'll call this a win. Like, take that break. That is your time. But build it into that. Build it into that time. I have teams at work who have made some of their meetings walking meetings. Just because if we're just talking about something,
We're here zoomed out. What is it? Zoom fatigue is a
yes,
real thing.
exactly.
I love, if you lead a group or lead a team,
Yeah,
absolutely take that in.
Exactly.
Right there.
Right. And so that's that. Yes, absolutely. It's those things where you're like, well, okay, my lifestyle says that I am working corporate, or I am working and I am obligated to be in these meetings. Build it into that. There should not be an employer who would deny you that at this, or there should not be a team leader or manager, or we need to question leadership skills there. There should not be someone who would hinder you in that way, understanding the impact that has on you as a professional, on you as a contributor to your team. So making time to build that in. For the busy mom, I mean, you're already superwoman. We could find 10 minutes. I got you. We'll find 10 minutes. Like, you're already doing it all is what I'm saying. So it's like you said, chase those kids. Let's make it about them. Like, you're already doing it anyways. Find ways to build it around them. I know someone who their kiddo was in soccer, and of course, during practices, they're just doing whatever. So she would take her laps in and take her jog then, like double dipping, maximizing that time. It's those little things that will help get it in.
I think what we're doing and where we fall short a lot of the time is that we don't think consciously around that. You know what I mean? We're not like consciously thinking. And maybe we think of it, or we have this relationship with like working out almost negative, like it's a negative thing, right? Because we didn't do it. We didn't hit our goal today. And so every time we think about working out, we're like, but I just have so much to do. I haven't done it in so long. And instead of just being like, today is a new day and I have the ability to prioritize it today and just take it one day at a time. Because honestly, that's how you build those really good habits when it comes to a healthy lifestyle. We said, Food Faith Freedom said, I definitely need to take breaks. I will work 4 to 5 hours with no break. Girl, we've all been there. Uh-oh. You want to talk all the time? I don't look at me like that. I could relate, but I didn't say it.
Yeah. Right.
That was such a mama, okay, 4 to 5 hours. But I think that's important. I definitely highly recommend you getting turning on your nudges if you have a smartwatch, because those are really, really helpful with reminding you. And I try when I see the little thing say, hey, get up, do some movement. I really do try my best. We're getting to the towards the end. So if you all have questions for Janna or any of the things we're talking about, please ask them, whether in the comments or using the little circle with this question mark in it, so that we can get your questions answered. But I wanted to talk about May vibes. So a lot of people are like, okay, what is it? VYBES. And we're spelling vibes that way, VYBES, because it means visualize yourself better every day, sis. It's the sis for me.
Yes.
And so I'm really excited because we're challenging in our entire community, not just our subscribers, but our entire community, to get out and get walking or have some kind of fitness, right? Not just physical activity, but exercise for 30 minutes every single day for the entire month of May. Y'all, I want to see in the comments. I want to see hearts. I want to see if you all are up to taking this challenge. It's the May Vibes Challenge, and we're kicking it off today with the amazing Janna. And we're talking about movement because we know this is important. She has already established why it's important. But we're doing 30 minutes a day of movement, of exercise every single day. And so we've given you some examples. I don't know if we can come up with some more. I want to try to help people who are like, I don't know what that's going to look like for
Yes.
days. But a HIIT workout, right? 10. If you got to cut it into 10, do the 10.
Yes. Really.
10 minutes 3 times a day, right? If you're doing it that way. But absolutely, absolutely challenge yourself to do May. So we're using May vibes. So when you're out and you're using your wristlets or your ankle weights and you're walking with your amazing, if you're a subscriber and got the box, it is sold out at this point. I am sorry you missed it, but not sorry because you should have got your box. Our canvas pack so that you can be hands-free and be working it out as you're walking. With whatever you need in this. It's really big, by the way. It's like the perfect size for a fanny pack for walking, and it fits flat to your body. Those fanny packs that be like jumping up on you. I'm like, chill.
Yeah, stay here.
Real simple. So we want to see you all out walking and doing this physical activity using the hashtag MayVibes, and that's BYBES, and that is visualize yourself better every day, sis. And that's what we want you to do. Visualize it, actually do it, right? And do it every day, one day at a time, without getting that overwhelming feeling of, oh my gosh, I got to work out today. It's like, no, I'm gonna do this for me today. And that's it. I really want to see the dance cardio, y'all. If I'm checking. Listen, we might have to have a whole what are those things called? A contest for the best dance cardio May vibes reel out there. I want to see a reel with me.
It's so worth it because truly, I think what you were just saying about, each day, not like, oh, I have to work out. I get to work out. Reframing that and not, again, making it just about the physical wellness or well-being. Thinking about it across the board, I will tell you that the times that I put on one of my short playlists and just have like a little solo dance break is not because I feel like, oh, I've been sitting too long, I need to move. It's because I'm distracted up here. I'm not feeling well about something, whatever. It's not even a physical thing. So I think it helps if we don't frame it from, I have to work out today, I have to move my body. Like, this is just simply what I do, again, for my quality of life. And our quality of life way, way, way exceeds just like our physical being, our physical body. That's a big part of it, but it's so much more. And I think maybe that will help, especially when you're like, how do we think of what to do with that 30 minutes or breaking it down? If you always loop it back to your quality of life, what optimizes you, I think that helps kind of source some of those
right. And that's one of our favorite things to talk about at BetternessBox because we know that wellness looks different for everyone, right? Self-care just looks different. There's over 5,000 types of different kind of self-care things you can do with yourself. And so whatever that looks like, which is why we kind of went through some of these examples, just doing it, right? Making sure that you're putting yourself first. For me, I think, again, consultation. Yeah, I don't think sometimes when I'm like, I need like motivation. Like today, I needed a little bit of motivation. So I went and searched the hashtag, Beyonce hashtag, and found a whole bunch of her dancing videos. Now, I just sat and watched her. I actually did not partake. However, what I can do in the future is, prop that thing up real quick and just, do a little routine with her real quick. I think that's something I can do. And then a lot of the time, I think my mind also goes to my pantry when I'm like, I feel like I need something. Sometimes we can't even put our finger on it. Right. I go straight over to get some chips. Instead, how about let me go outside and walk and get some fresh air? Right. Because it is beautiful. Right. At least here.
Right now it is. And I still, and with the chips too, like go take that walk real quick. And when you come back, if you still want the chips, have those chips. we're not, neglecting shit, but that you did that first. You may come back and that's not even on your mind anymore. And so you know that that's not what you needed. But again, that goes back to that balance of like, it's not that we aren't engaging in something, it's that we're just prioritizing something else first. And we'll see how that impacts that other thing later. And what you said too before about just, again, it is all about just finding that time and how we're relating to it. But that's truly where the retreat has kind of come in for me. Why that even started is because it's just challenging to do sometimes until we step away and make ourselves self-aware. Really plugging into those things that are barriers to that are holding us back, why we're having like a negative reaction to or interaction with working out or exercise. Stepping away and reframing that whole thing. I'm not saying it has to be a retreat. I'm saying you could, get by yourself and sort that out. But I do think that there's a lot to be had in kind of creating that time and space to become really aware in that area.
So 30 days, once a day, mini retreat. We're taking a retreat every day with my May vibes. Listen, because we're taking ourselves out. That what should happen, if you can, is to be present, as Denise just said, right? And try to find that balance. It's like, okay, I'm going to go outside, move myself from that negative, like, thought process and say, hey, I'm going to take care of myself for 30 minutes a day. For men, to be able to do that, we got to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you deserve so much more. So if the minimum you can give yourself is 30 minutes, like, you're already cheating yourself. So give yourself at least that. You just have to at least 30 minutes.
Yes, at least 30 minutes and then 10 sections, 10 minutes, 10-minute sections if you have to. I love that. And I think that if we do that in May, by the time we're at the end of May, sis, we're going to be like, I walk an hour a day. What are you talking about? Right?
That's right.
Let's start small so that we can build up to that. And we're here as your community, as your betterness community of enthusiasts that are all about wellness and making that a lifestyle. We're going to be here. So I want you all to follow the hashtag that Denise put in here. It's hashtag May Vibes, and Vibes is capital VYBES. Again, it stands for visualize yourself better every day, sis. And so that way we can all chime in and really feel like we're a part of the community, because this challenge is real. Me and Denise, we've never done a challenge together. Okay. 30 days. Are you going to join us, Janna?
Yes, I am. Because so I taught earlier today. I had a 30-minute class. So I could check off today, but I'll wait till May so I can be fair.
Right on, girl.
No, I'm not going to get ahead. I won't get ahead. But that, again, if you need that motivation, there are a bunch of quick and easy 10-minute, even like down to 2 or 3 minute workouts, moves that you can do on my page so that you can, if you don't want to think about it, and I understand that if you can't get creative, that's like, use your resources, use those hashtags, come on over to my page. Happy to help get us moving, keep us moving through May.
Absolutely. One thing we might do is just go to all of your stuff and hashtag May Vibes.
There you go. Here you go. You can find it. Find it.
You got to follow. Which page is it? It's not the retreat page. It's the bar in your bedroom. Bar in your bedroom.
Yes.
It's going to be tagged in this replay for those of you who are watching the replay. It's also at the title up at the top, bar in your bedroom, so that you can make sure you have something to do, right? And not have an excuse of like, well, 30 minutes, I don't really know what to do. No excuses. We got you there too, right? We got your weights. We got you don't have to have your phone in your hand, whatever. No excuses at this point, y'all. It looks like we don't have any questions, but I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to tell us about any upcoming amazing things that you're doing, what time your classes are, how people can sign up to follow you or follow any of your different programs, so that people can get connected.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. So again, bar in your bedroom, I teach class. I have a 30-minute virtual class on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. So if that's not a good time for you, I send the recording afterwards, so you can sign up for that. And that's a paid class, but I have all of those 10 minutes. It ranges truly from like really quick 2 minutes up to 15 minutes, even quick and easy workouts that you can do that you can follow right along with, or just that you need the inspiration. You don't really want to hear me talk you through it. You aren't there. You're past that. Totally. I understand. And just that inspo to get you going, put me on mute, whatever you need to do. But if you need more than that, if you are truly looking for that immersive experience, that opportunity to just indulge yourself because you truly deserve that, that's where Be Balanced Retreat comes in. That's where you can find that handle at Be Balanced Retreat. And those are typically weekend retreats, but I am excited because we have a day retreat coming up. And that is, again, this kind of quick and easy version of if you can't get away for the weekend, you can come, and it's a miniature version of that. Workshops, workouts, the spa treatments, your food, and just, again, stepping away from the daily distractions, plugging into you, and you still get to be home for dinner. So that's
wow. Like, what could you ask for? What more could you ask for? Wait, okay, so that is in person?
Yes, I know, right? Welcome to I-41. We're going to see, yes,
I want to come to that.
Yes, June 12th. And we did definitely keep that in consideration when selecting the venue. Most things will be outside, or the things that are inside, there's plenty of space. And we keep the ticket count very low because that's very much like the retreat as well. It's an intimate thing. It's a connection. It's not about being in a room of a million. That's distracting. Being around 50 people. It's about small, intimate connection. And so we're looking forward to kicking off our first day retreat in June.
Exciting. June 12th. It sounds like there's limited spots. So
yes,
get your life together.
For you. Come on.
Go over to Be Balanced Retreat handle for that, and then definitely follow Janna at Bar in Your Bedroom. I'm so excited and thankful for you joining us today. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. I have my notes. I will be reposting them for everyone watching the replay, so you can make sure to find all of this stuff in there. I'm going to go and favorite all of my workouts of yours. So I think do when this starts, May Vibes, 30 days, 30 minutes a day. We got this. I mean, we got this.
Easy.
All right. We'll see y'all out there for May Vibes, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, Jen.
Thank you. Bye.